How to never get angry or bothered by anyone. For most of my life, I thought other people were the problem. My frustration, that was my boss's fault. My anger, blame the guy who cut me off in traffic. My hurt feelings, a thoughtless comment from a family member was all it took. For years, it felt like my inner peace was a remote control that anyone could just pick up and change the channel on. A rude email could ruin my entire morning. A cancelled plan could sour my whole day. My emotional state felt like a puppet, and it seemed like everyone else was holding the strings. But what if I told you that over the last year, my relationship with all of that has completely changed? That I've learned how to stay calm and centered, no matter what's happening around me. It's not because I became a hermit, or because everyone in my life suddenly became perfect. It's because I discovered an ancient philosophy that totally flipped my understanding of anger on its head. It's a way of thinking that's been tested for over 2,000 years, used by emperors and slaves alike to build an unshakable inner fortress. And in this video, I'm going to share exactly how I did it, and how you can too. We're not talking about bottling things up or pretending things don't hurt. We're talking about finding a genuine, lasting tranquility that comes from within. The true source of your frustration. The first and most radical idea you have to wrap your head around is this: other people and outside events are not the cause of your anger. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most famous Stoic philosophers, wrote in his private journal, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Just let that sink in for a second. It's not the traffic jam that makes you angry. It's your judgment that the traffic jam is a terrible, unfair thing that's ruining your day. It's not the criticism from your coworker that hurts you. It's your belief that their opinion somehow defines your worth. The Stoics taught that between an event happening and you feeling an emotion, there is one crucial step: your judgment. The event itself is neutral. It's just a fact. A person said some words. Cars are moving slowly. It's the story you tell yourself about that fact that creates the emotional storm. The philosopher Epictetus put it even more bluntly: men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. This is the foundational principle that changes absolutely everything. It means the remote control for your emotions isn't in anyone else's hands. It's been in your pocket this whole time. You've just been letting other people press the buttons. Think about it. Two people can go through the exact same event and have wildly different reactions. One person gets laid off from their job and spirals into despair and anger. Another person gets laid off and sees it as the perfect opportunity to finally start that business they've always dreamed of. The event was identical. The judgment about the event determined the emotional outcome. The problem isn't the world outside of you. The problem, and therefore the solution, is in how you choose to see that world. Realizing this is the first step toward taking back control and building a mind that is resilient, steady, and truly free. The Stoic superpower, the dichotomy of control. Okay, so if we know our judgments are the source of our emotions, how do we actually start to change them? The Stoics gave us a powerful mental model for this. It's called the dichotomy of control, and honestly, it might be the most practical and life-changing idea in all of philosophy. Epictetus, who was born a slave and rose to become a legendary philosopher, taught that everything in life can be sorted into two simple boxes: things we control and things we don't. So, what's in our control? According to the Stoics, it's a very short list. It's our thoughts, our judgments, our choices, our actions. That's pretty much it. Our inner world. And what's not in our control? Everything else. This is a very, very long list. It includes what other people think, say, or do. It includes your health, your reputation, your wealth, and the weather. It includes the past and the future. You can influence these things for sure, but you can't ultimately control them. So much of our anger, frustration, and anxiety comes from one simple mistake. We waste our energy trying to control things that are, by their very nature, uncontrollable. We get mad when someone doesn't act the way we think they should. We get anxious about whether people will like our work. We get frustrated when our body gets sick. In every case, we're fighting reality, tying our peace of mind to an outcome that was never fully in our power to begin with. Imagine you're an archer. Everything in your control happens before you let go of the arrow. It's choosing the right bow, practicing your stance, aiming carefully, and releasing the string smoothly. That's your job. The second the arrow leaves the bow, the outcome is out of your hands. A gust of wind could come. The target could fall. Your responsibility ends with your effort. The Stoic archer, then, finds satisfaction in aiming well, not just in hitting the bullseye. They focus 100% of their energy on what they can control, their own actions, and they accept the outcome, whatever it is, with grace. This is the exact mindset to bring to your daily life. When your boss is in a bad mood, that's the wind. It's not in your control. What is in your control is your choice to stay professional and calm. When someone insults you, their words are the arrow after it has left their bow. You can't control it, but you can control your judgment about it, choosing to see it not as a reflection of you, but as a reflection of them. By constantly running this filter, is this in my control? You stop wasting energy on things you can't change, and you redirect it to the one area where you are all-powerful, yourself. This isn't about being passive, it's about being strategic. It's about being effective where you can be, and finding peace where you can't. This is the superpower that lets you walk through chaos without losing your calm. The Stoic Toolkit for Everyday Battles. Understanding the philosophy is one thing, but putting it into practice when your blood starts to boil is the real game. The Stoics were practical. They created a toolkit of mental exercises to stay calm in the heat of the moment. Tool 1. The strategic pause. The philosopher Seneca, who advised the infamous Emperor Nero, knew a thing or two about dealing with difficult people. He wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay. When you feel that first flash of anger, your gut instinct is to react instantly. The Stoic move is to do the exact opposite. Create a space between the trigger and your response. That pause, that's where your power is. It's the moment you take control back from your lizard brain and give it to your rational mind. Here's how to do it. The next time someone triggers you, before you say a single word, just pause. Take one slow, deep breath. That simple act can physically interrupt your body's stress response. Then, silently name the emotion. Okay, I'm feeling anger right now. Just naming it creates distance. You aren't the anger, you're the one noticing the anger. Finally, ask yourself, is there action in my control? The answer is always no. Is my response in my control? The answer is always yes. In that tiny gap, you've shifted from mindless reaction to conscious choice. Now, you get to decide how to respond. Tool 2. Reframe the narrative. We know it's our judgment that causes the anger, so this tool is all about consciously changing the story you're telling yourself. Let's say someone cuts you off in traffic. The default story is, "That selfish jerk, they have no respect." The feeling is rage. Now, let's try a reframe. What's another possible story? Maybe they're rushing to the hospital. Maybe they just got terrible news. and are completely distracted. Maybe they're just a flawed person who made a mistake, just like you and I do. Marcus Aurelius used to prepare himself for this. He'd wake up and tell himself, "Today I will meet with people who are meddling, ungrateful, and arrogant." He wasn't being negative, he was getting ready. He was removing the element of surprise so he wouldn't take their flaws personally. When you expect people to be imperfect, you're less likely to be shattered when they are. The same goes for criticism. Instead of seeing it as an attack, can you reframe it as just information? Even if it's delivered horribly, is there a tiny piece of truth in there you can learn from? It's not about agreeing with them, it's about choosing to see it as an opportunity for growth instead of an injury. Tool 3. Negative visualization, the Stoics' secret weapon. This one sounds a little weird, but stay with me. One of the best ways to stay calm and grateful is to regularly imagine losing the things you value. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of challenges. Seneca suggested we start each day by thinking about things that could go wrong, not to get anxious, but to get prepared and to appreciate what we have. Imagine your flight gets cancelled, you lose your wallet, or a project fails. By thinking about these things when you're calm, you do two things. First, you emotionally prepare yourself. If something bad does happen, it won't be such a shock. You've already rehearsed for it, which robs it of its power to throw you off balance. But more importantly, it makes you incredibly grateful for what you have right now. When you spend a moment imagining your day going sideways, and then you open your eyes and your wallet is right there, your loved ones are safe, and your coffee is hot, you're filled with a sense of relief and deep appreciation. The small annoyances of the day suddenly seem trivial. You stop taking the good for granted. Tool 4. Amor fati, loving your fate. This is maybe the most profound tool in the whole toolkit. Amor fati is Latin for a love of fate. It's the practice of not just accepting what happens, but embracing it, welcoming it. Every single part of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Why on earth would we do that? Because fighting reality is the source of almost all our suffering. Wishing things were different creates constant inner turmoil. Amor fati is the ultimate expression of the dichotomy of control. Since you can't control external events, your only sane option is to accept them. But to love them? That's next level. When faced with a challenge or a setback, the person practicing amor fati says, "Okay, this is what I have to work with. This obstacle isn't in my way. This obstacle is the way." They see it as a chance to practice a virtue. A difficult person is a chance to practice patience. A financial setback is a chance to practice resilience. A failure is a chance to practice humility. This mindset transforms you from a victim of your life into an alchemist who can turn any situation into gold. It's the key to not just surviving life, but thriving in it, no matter what it throws at you. If this toolkit for inner peace is resonating with you, and you want to keep building a more resilient mind, take a second to subscribe. You'll be joining a community of people who are all learning how to turn this ancient wisdom into a modern way of life. Building your fortress of calm, daily practice. Philosophy isn't something you just read, it's something you do. Building an unshakable mind takes daily training, just like building a strong body. Here are 4 simple habits to start with. Practice 1. The evening review. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes to do a quick debrief with yourself. Seneca did this every night. He'd ask himself, "What bad habit did I challenge today? Where did I stand firm? In what way am I better?" You can make this even simpler. Open a notebook and ask, "What triggered me today? Anger, frustration, etc." How did I react in the moment? Using what I know now, how could I have responded better? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about self-awareness. When you consistently review your reactions, you start to see patterns. You'll notice the same types of things tend to set you off. That awareness is everything. It's the first step to changing those knee-jerk reactions. Practice 2. Master your mornings with gratitude. Anger and gratitude can't live in the same headspace. It's almost impossible to feel furious and deeply thankful at the exact same time. The Stoics knew this. So, make it a habit. Before you grab your phone, before the world rushes in, take just 60 seconds. Name 3 things you're genuinely grateful for. It doesn't have to be big. The warmth of your bed, the taste of coffee, the fact that you're breathing. This simple act primes your brain for appreciation, not frustration. It sets your emotional baseline for the day to calm, making you far less likely to be rattled by the little things later. Practice 3. The power of silence. In a world that screams for you to have an opinion on everything, choosing silence is a superpower. When you're faced with insults or negativity, your gut instinct is to fight back. The Stoic often chooses a different path: silence. This isn't a weak silence. It's a silence born of strength. It quietly communicates, "Your words don't have the power to control me." An angry person is trying to hand you their chaos. By refusing to engage, you break the circuit. You starve their anger of the oxygen it needs. You remain the calm center while the storm rages around you. You realize that winning an argument is nothing compared to the prize of keeping your peace. Practice 4. Setting strong boundaries. Being unbothered doesn't mean being a doormat. In fact, it requires the opposite: strong, clear boundaries. This is a practical application of the dichotomy of control. You can't control if someone makes an unreasonable demand on your time, but you can control whether you say yes or no. Boundaries are simply the respectful way you teach people how to interact with you. They aren't walls to keep people out. They're fences to protect your inner peace. This means learning to say no without feeling guilty. It means carving out and protecting time for yourself. It means choosing not to get pulled into draining gossip or arguments. When you protect your peace with clear boundaries, you have more of yourself to give to the people and things that truly matter. The ultimate goal: detaching your self-worth. All of these tools and practices are leading to one final, liberating place: getting to a point where your self-worth is truly yours and nobody else can touch it. Your value as a person isn't determined by your job, your bank account, or what other people think of you. Marcus Aurelius was amazed by this human quirk. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. We hand strangers the power to define our value, a power that should only ever belong to us. When you truly internalize that your worth comes from your character, from your choices, from your integrity, everything changes. Insults lose their sting. Criticism becomes just data. Praise is nice, but you don't need it to feel whole. You're no longer on an emotional roller coaster controlled by the moods of others. You are grounded in your own sense of self. This is what it means to be a Stoic sage, a person who stays calm and centered no matter what life throws at them, because they've placed their well-being entirely inside their own control. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You find tranquility when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do. Only what you do." Conclusion. Look, the path to becoming unbothered by anyone isn't a quick fix. It's a lifelong practice. It's not about becoming an emotionless robot. It's about fundamentally changing your relationship with your emotions. It's about realizing that for the most part, anger is a choice, not an automatic reflex. It all starts with that profound shift understanding that the source of your frustration isn't out there, but in your own judgments. It's powered by constantly asking, is this in my control? And it's built, day by day, through practice, the strategic pause, reframing the story, feeling gratitude, and setting boundaries. This path doesn't promise a life without problems, but it promises a life where you are no longer a prisoner to them. It offers a way to reclaim your inner peace and build a fortress of calm that no person or circumstance can tear down. The power to be undisturbed has been inside you all along. The Stoics just left us the instruction manual. Now, it's our turn to practice. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's one idea you're going to try to apply this week? I read all the comments and would love to hear how it goes. And, if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe for more practical wisdom on mastering your mind. Thanks for watching.